to Menu Talk, a joint podcast from Restaurant Business and Nation's Restaurant News. I'm Pat Kobe, Senior Menu Editor of Restaurant Business, and I'm here today with Tai Ricci, partner in High Neighbor Hospitality Group. Tai is the front of house force behind 5 independent restaurants in the San Francisco Bay Area, including Trestle, Mama Oakland, and the Vault Steakhouse. Tai actually started out in theater school in Philadelphia, but since she had to pay her own way, she began waiting tables in Stephen Starr's restaurants. The theater experience gave her the chops to become a great server, and she eventually moved to the West Coast to work for other notable restaurateurs, including Michael Mina. In California, she met up with her current partners, Ryan Cole and chef Jason Halverson, and the 3 decided over lunch one day to open a restaurant. Tai talks about the journey from that one lunch to the formation of the award-winning High Neighbor Hospitality Group. Along the way, naysayers predicted that the group's restaurant models were not viable for the long run. But here they are 12 years later, running a bunch of diverse and successful indies. She credits the partners' commitment to building a nurturing and motivational team culture and creating welcoming and affordable dining spaces. Listen now to hear more of Tai Ricci's story. Hi there, this is Menu Talk, and my guest today is Tai Ricci. Welcome, Tai.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Well, let's begin by you telling me a little bit about your journey to get you where you are today. So you studied art in college, but then you became interested in culinary arts.
I did. I went to theater school, but I had to pay my own way. So I had to get a job, and the jobs available were hosting at a restaurant. And I knew I liked to eat at restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew my mom liked restaurants. So I thought that sounds like fun. And it was so much fun. I became addicted to it. And the theater part of it made me a really excellent host and waitress and manager because I could fake it with the best of them. But I could also read a room.
Mm-hmm.
So waiting tables and having my theater degree was like teeny tiny little shows that paid me in buckets of cash.
Wow.
And so I put the two together and here we are.
Yeah. Wow, that's so amazing. And you when you were in Philadelphia, you actually worked with the Stephen Starr and his restaurants, which are very well-known restaurants. So tell me about that and where it led you next.
Stephen was really the best. I started as a busgirl and I essentially just bullied him until I could become a server. And he finally was like, if you leave me alone, like you can do anything you want, but you won't do fine dining because you're unpredictable. And I still am, which was fine. But that's really like where I learned my chops and hustling. And Stephen was great. He always would check in on me and kind of be like, what are you doing? Because the theater thing, it sounds great, but like I don't think that's what you're destined to do because you're kind of like a bulldog in the ring. I was running all the other servers around and I would tell the chefs like, I don't really think that's going to work. It just doesn't sound right to me. I mean, I am surprised I even kept a job, really. But because I cared so much, my heart was in it so deeply. So Stephen would just always check in. And then when I was moving from Philly to LA, he was the one that introduced me to Sam Nazarian. So that's how I had a job before I moved out there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just been great. I mean, I still see him every once in a while. I randomly bump into him and last time I saw him, he was like, I thought I told him not to let you back in here. And I was like, oh, you do remember me? I am a monster.
Yeah, well, he just reopened Babo in New York, and it's gotten really good, vibes, lots of good buzz around it. So I haven't been there yet, but
I like everything he does.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because it was my first like big girl job, but I just think he's just got a magic touch and he's a really nice person and he was a really good boss. And it kind of taught me like boundaries, but also to not really give up. Like if this guy's going to keep going and he's 25 years older than me, I have so much left to do in my life.
Mm. Well, then you made it from LA to San Francisco. So tell me
Yeah.
about, tell me about that journey when you started with Trestle.
LA was awesome. I became best friends with my now partner Ryan. So that was like 20 years ago. And he was moving to San Francisco, and Michael Mina had called and was like, "You should move to San Francisco and help Ryan, and you can like organize the staff training or whatever." And I said, "Ew, San Francisco? That place sucks. I'm not doing it." And he was like, "Listen, I will move your stuff. I'll pay for you to get a place. Stay for 3 months. If you don't like it, you can go right back to LA." And here I am, 15 years later. But I worked for Mina for a long time. San Francisco is just an excellent, amazing, nurturing place to be in the food industry.
Mm.
And, I could only work at the boys club for so long before finally I was like, I got to break out of here. And then
Mm.
I did. I jailbroke. We jailbroke one of the chefs, Jason Halverson, to be our partner. Ryan had decided to leave and we were having lunch and he said, "I think we should open a restaurant." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Well, I'll quit my job." And he was like, "That's not how it works. We have to get investors and find a building. And like, what are we doing here?" And that's kind of how it just happened. It one day happened at lunch. We said, "Let's open a restaurant." And then we just never looked back.
That's so cool. Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, you have had great mentors also. I mean, Michael Mina and Stephen Starr. And
Yeah.
now, I mean, it must have really prepared you well for what you're doing now.
It did. It trained me in hospitality, which is, the foundation of a great restaurant, of any business, is being hospitable. It also showed me a lot of what not to do growing up kind of in that era. And it gave me more purpose to do things right and treat people with the respect that they deserve. But it did teach me a lot about business. I mean, again, theater school. I didn't even know you had to pay your water bill in college. Like I was very unprepared. One of my classes, I think, was superheroes. Cool. But the business side of things, that was really cool to learn because Stephen, Michael, Shelley, Lindgren, like everyone was very aggressive and business minded. And I didn't know that was such a big component of running a restaurant.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the food's important, the services.
Ambiance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so what is the mission of High Neighbor? I mean, it sounds like you have a really interesting culture and a different kind of mission than some of your mentors or some of the people that you worked with before.
Yeah. For us, we're not money driven, which is so strange to say when you have to work to live, right?
Mhm.
It was really about who do I want to go to work with and spend my time with every day for the rest of my life? Because I will do this for the rest of my life. And knowing that, like, the era that we grew up in, working in a restaurant wasn't dignified, but it is an incredibly dignified job. And I wanted to find a way to find like minded people that care about other humans that want to be in this industry without shame. And so we said, how do we create that? Well, one, you steep yourself deeply in the community. You give back as much as possible. And you find out, that's the heartbeat. What do people need? What kind of restaurant are they looking for? What kind of experiences are they looking for? Well, that's how we curate our next spot and choose our next location. And then really it's about taking care of the team, giving them opportunities that they may not have. Oh, you're a porter now, but one day you want to be a chef. Awesome. Let's create that path for you and see what that looks like. You have to work two jobs because your kid wants to go to this certain private school. Okay, well, let's find you a way to have most your hours here so you don't have to do two jobs. And what does that look like? Like, we have 5 restaurants. Let's keep you in the company. And I don't know, I want to have the power to make people happy because I do want to show up to the party every night,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
Like, why do you want to go to work and be in a bad mood? I don't want that. I'm already angry, probably from something else. I want to clock in and smile.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a great place to work. So you must have really good retention rates
We
as
do.
well. Yeah.
Yep. Excellent retention rates. Some people that started with us, now their kids work with us, which is so wild because they
Wow,
would
that's
be in like
amazing. Yeah.
little chairs eating cheeseburgers like 15 years ago. And now they're going to college like, hey, can you write me a letter of recommendation? I'm like, wow. Or hey, do you want to go get a beer? I'm like, I don't know. But and it's a lot of friends of friends. You know, once
Mhm.
someone gets in, they bring their friend, and I love that the most. That someone is like, I am so happy at my job. I want to now bring my friends in.
That's
And
wonderful.
that is very cool.
So was Trestle the first restaurant in the group?
No, we had a restaurant Stone's Throw that we
Oh,
opened in 2013, but it closed because the city demanded that everywhere get retrofitted.
mm,
But there are not enough construction companies to retrofit all the buildings.
oh.
So we ended up letting it go. It was fine. There was a tree growing into the toilet. It was, I mean, this guy was like, ma'am, can you come here? And I was like, what is that? He said, it's a tree. And I was like, we got to get out of here.
That's
And then
wild. Wow.
it was wild. But one of our investors in Stone's Throw came to us and was like, own this building. Can you go check it out? And we were like really feeling ourselves at the time. You know, Stone's Throw was very popular, blah, blah, blah. And we walked into this old Chinese restaurant, the Great Hunan. It had 2 woks and like a hand sink to wash dishes. And we walked in and we were like, oh, yeah, we got this. And the guy said, great, you have 3 months to open. And we were like, so that's how we came up with the idea of Trestle. It was 4 courses, changed weekly. The overhead was really small. The staff was really small. So we made it work in the space. But Trestle was interesting. It was one restaurant that a lot of people told me, oh, you're never going to make it. That's a bad idea. Now I'm like, ha, 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 ha. Oh, you want a reservation? No.
And so how many years ago is that you opened
That
Trestle?
was 2015. So we just turned
Years.
10 in
Oh,
April.
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
And you were
And then,
really one of the first to do like prefix meals that weren't tasting menus, but were really affordable. And is that
yes,
still your model now?
1,000%. We just make it work. So we have in that format, Trestle was the first. Everyone copied us, which is fine. And then we took over operating Mama in Oakland, which was an already existing restaurant from 2 of our friends. And we put the Trestle format there, but we added on the entree option. That one is only $42.95.
Mm-hmm.
And then Marlena opened, which turned into Seven Adams, which is our Michelin starred restaurant. And that is 87 for 5 courses, which is for Michelin a
Still,
steal.
yeah, really a good deal.
Yeah, like I said, yes, it is about money. I do like to survive, to buy coffee and cheese, but really it's about offering value at a good price point where I can see you again and again and again, and we're
Mm-hmm.
just nice to you, and that costs us nothing.
Well, that's really
It's really
popular.
easy.
It must be really popular now because affordability is like the number one, demand by restaurant customers now.
Oh my
A
gosh,
lot, maybe
absolutely.
not every restaurant customer, but a lot of them.
I think when Trestle opened, the original menu was $35 now 10 years ago. And that was the average price of one entree in San Francisco. So like you and I are going out for dinner and we get 2 salmon, it's $35. That doesn't include our wine, our espresso martinis, or whatever, our salads. And people were really blown away. Why not? It's like the whole point of being together is to
Mhm.
let go of all of the daily stresses. Sometimes I don't even think it's really about the dish or the food. It's about the feeling.
Mm. And so what is the price now? Oh,
We are at 52. Mama's at 42.95. And like I said, Seven Adams, 87, and 157 for the chef's counter, but that's like 12 courses,
mm.
which still like, I don't,
Yeah, that's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah. So do you still have some of the like signatures on the menu that you had at the beginning? I mean, or do you rotate the
We rotate. Yeah, we rotate. I think it's important because it keeps people coming back, right? Oh, the squid and conchile is back on the menu. It's only up every 2 months. I have to come in. So like, ding. And also, I don't want to alienate any of our regulars.
Mm,
If they like something that much and they're willing to come back for it, like I need to find a way to offer it to you.
right.
But really, it's extremely seasonal out here. Even though year round you can get blackberries, like we only use them at certain times. So the menu does change enough, but if I know you and I know you like a dish, I'll find a way to make it happen for you.
Hmm. So you also have you turn tables like twice a night, is that correct? Or
Oh,
or more?
three?
Three? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Trestle is interesting because you sit down, you order, and your food comes out. There's no like pausing in between. So sometimes two people can be in and out in an hour
hmm
and not like from the first sip of wine to the last sip of coffee. It just works. But I also find that now, people are not really looking for a drawn out experience,
mm.
right? Because they're addicted to wanting to be on their phones, or they have a TV show to watch. Or if you're like me, you want to be at home by dark and in bed.
Yeah. I'm
So
kind of like that too.
yes, yes. So like the experience has changed. Before you could stay at a table all night long,
Right.
but I find that people just don't want that.
Are people coming out earlier too? Because that's kind of a trend in New York now. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like we're busier at 5 o'clock at all of the restaurants than we are at 8 o'clock. And 8 o'clock used to be like, oh no, here comes the weeds. Like I see the pile up at the door. And in most restaurants too used to be open till 10. Now 8:45. It's like
Mm,
it's also extremely expensive to be an employer. So I
mm.
have to use the hours that I have someone there most efficiently. And unfortunately, if that means shaving off that extra hour, then that's what I have to do.
hmm So in your job, I mean, I know you manage the staff and you've created the culture. So can you tell me a little bit about like your best lessons or, that you would share with others? What is the secret sauce that, keeps your employees so happy?
Ah, God. I wish that someone had told baby Tai to be patient because I spent my whole life like rushing, rushing, rushing to get to the end, to get to the Michelin star and the potential James Beard or like the recognition being in the newspaper. I wanted, wanted, wanted. I missed marriages. I missed births. I missed meeting some of my cousins that live back east that I just don't know.
Mm,
I was just not enjoying the steps to get the success that I have now.
mm.
And, when I was younger, I thought 40, oh God, that's just so old. It's not. That's like when life's just getting started. And if my big reward comes when I'm 50, then like that is a great life I've led. If I was patient and really took in everything that all these people were giving to me. So I always tell people like, take the day off, go see your kid's soccer game. I will cover your shift. If it's not me, someone else will. Like, don't forget to enjoy a holiday. Maybe not both because you can't have both off, but like put yourself first, be patient and be like really present in what's happening because before you know it's gone and you can't remember it.
Mm.
And then, my team then gets to like go out and have all these wonderful experiences and they're bringing back just more culture and more excitement and more passion to the job
Mm.
that they then share with me. So it's like hard to be really negative when you're in a space where you're experiencing so many different things all day because we have so many different team members.
Mm.
So yeah, patience, be patient. Like it's just a restaurant. You're
Yeah.
not saving lives.
That's a really good recommendation for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
You also do, community outreach and events.
Mhm.
So what are some of the, signature events you've created? I was reading about Winter Wonderland and Eat Like a
Yes.
Chef. Yeah, so tell me about those.
Eat Like a Chef is the best. It just came up because we had done the Meals on Wheels gala and we were like, oh my God, how do we like I want more of this. I want to know our community more. I want to do better. What can we do that we like to do? We were like, wouldn't it be fun to invite like a couple chef friends in and maybe cook a meal? And then we did All Stars Helping Kids. We did oh my God, so many charities. So each year we would just pick a different charity and then we would reach out to all of our chef friends and say, hey, can you come to our restaurant on a night we're closed? You are going to battle with Chef Jason, our partner. Every person is going to do a course. We're going to bring in your som or our som. They're going to do a wine pairing, and we're going to donate all the money to charity.
Great.
And we just did. And I don't know, it just feels good, right? So then you get that like, oh, that felt good. How can I top myself and donate more and do better? Because I do have time. So how can I give back? Then Meals on Wheels, the Marin Food Bank, we do as well. And I mean, anything we can. We're such yes people. Hi, can you donate like a dinner for two for cats? I'm like, yes, for $1 million. What would you like? How can I assist? Yeah.
I mean, that's a great example to set for the rest of, through your competitors in the industry too.
Yeah. And it's, I think, a good example for the team. Like we all do it on our day off. We donate our time. We do not get paid.
Yeah.
And we don't take $1. So I think it just sets a good tone. And, before people were like, oh, I got to work on a Monday or whenever we have it. And now they're like, can I work? Can I work? I'm like, I don't know.
That's fabulous. And so you talked a little bit about how you differentiate all your concepts. I mean, you have a lot of different types of concepts too. You also have like an ice cream and coffee and ice cream concept. So how did that come to be? Launchpad coffee and ice cream.
when you have four partners, right? Everyone has their dream restaurant and their dream cuisine. And so we want each person to have one of their visions highlighted. So, not that one restaurant is someone's baby, but each of us gravitate more towards a certain restaurant because it represents who we are as individuals. Then when we partnered up with Dave and Serena from 7 Adams, Serena was sitting in a meeting and was like, look, it's been my lifetime dream to make ice cream. And I was like, Michelin-starred ice cream? Sign me up. Like, I'm not making it, but I will deliver it. I will assist in packaging. So that's how the ice cream started. And then we were only selling like to local places, and we're on Good Eggs. And it was great. Now, is ice cream incredibly lucrative? It is certainly not. So the vault, which we have, they had an old Starbucks across the concourse, and the building came to us and said, could you open a coffee shop? And we said, well, we love coffee. So yes. And how about we put some ice cream in there?
Oh, cool.
And that's kind of how it came to be. So I would say like that really is the extension of Chef Serena. And that is her passion. So we're highlighting that. Whereas, Chef Dave is much more in tune with the Michelin star style of cooking. But that's how Launchpad came to be. And we are all addicted to coffee. And so like, it really worked out well.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to have your own source there. I mean, I would go for the ice cream too, but.
Well, it's so cute because there's also a kindergarten in the building, and you can see it like 2:30 when they get out. There's just a rush, like kids screaming for ice cream. It feels good.
So do you think that kind of concept is one you could replicate and do in other parts of the Bay Area?
I don't know that Launchpad would be what I would want to replicate. I think Trestle would be one that I would want to replicate because it is affordable, and I think it belongs in more spots in San Francisco where things are just not affordable. And I would like to give people in every neighborhood the opportunity to experience having a good meal and being taken care of. Also, I'll be honest, when someone calls out at the coffee shop, I do not want to go and open it. That is early. It's too early for me. I don't want that. So that would be why I personally am hesitant. Yeah, like it's just not for me.
So what is next for Hi Neighbor? I mean, how many restaurants do you have now? You have like almost 10? Or
we have open 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5. Sorry.
Okay.
We have one currently not in operation that we're working on. We have 2 upcoming projects that we will be opening that I can't really discuss more than that. But we also do a lot of consulting which I don't think a ton of people realize, which has been incredibly beneficial for both sides. And we consult for some really big names, which are not important that I mentioned, but it's been cool because we're learning a lot, but they're also learning a lot. So that sense of community is kind of coming back, and it's what we really lead with. We like consulting because we want everyone to succeed, because I want more people to come here, right? So we all win if we're all working that hard. So the consulting part, I think, is what we're really focusing on. Just because we have no shame. When one of our restaurants isn't doing good, we will pivot. Like I will change the concept. I will apologize. I don't care. You have to do what's right and what the city is craving, and not kind of like come up with a crazy idea and stick it in there. Like, this restaurant doesn't have forks. That's not going to work.
So have you pivoted a restaurant
Oh my God.
Oh, so tell me about that.
We had a restaurant called Corridor that we opened. I liken it to the Titanic. It was one of the first order at the counter and then we deliver, like, kind of no service situations. This was even before COVID. And it opened, and we were busy because we were a high neighbor. And, I was there, Ryan was there, Jason was there. We were all there. So all of our regulars were coming, but it was just missing something. It didn't work. And we had to really look at ourselves and be like, we are millions of dollars in the hole. Our team is not going to make the money that we promised them. Like, we have to make a decision quick. And in one night, we turned it around from fast casual to full service. But I had to stand up in front of the team and say, I'm very sorry. There's going to be 2 days where you don't have work because I have to restructure the chairs and the POS system. And like, I messed up, but I'm going to make it up to you. And it worked for a while, and then it didn't work. So then we added a coffee shop and got a liquor license. And then it worked again. And then COVID hit. So if that was like a three turn pivot or whatever, it was a circle, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. It was a triangle. But yeah, I'm not ashamed at all to change anything. Like, ultimately, it's not my idea that's making us money. It's the people coming in and paying us that are making us money. So if you tell me what you want me to do for that money, I'm going to do that.